Hello. It's Tuesday. It has been a minute. But we are finally doing a Let's Create. It's been a while, but we're here. Let's do it. Let's create. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. There we go. Hi. How are you? Welcome to Worlds Told. My name is Jason, aka Solstice, and this is Worlds Told. So we're a channel dedicated to role-playing, storytelling, tabletop RPGs, pop culture, all the things that, at least for me, I think are fun. Keep the fun world going, you know? And it's been a hot minute since I've done one of these. Hold on one second. Which way? This way? This way? I don't know. It's so toit like a toiger. There we go. Much better. Yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've done one of these. So basically what we're going to be doing today is Let's Create. I used to do these a lot before I moved and had to reassemble all my computer crap and stuff. Basically what it is it's a window of about 2 hours every other week, every other Tuesday, where we get together and we just kind of hang out, work on our own projects. It could be a writing project, it could be a maybe a video game dev project, it could be painting, could be jewelry, whatever it is that floats your boat, whatever it is that keeps your creative juices juicing, I guess, whatever. And that's the whole point. That's what we're here for. We're here to kind of support everyone's creative thing. Previously I've used it to work on videos for the channel. I've worked on overlays and stuff, and actually for this one I'm gonna finally do something I've been planning to do but keep putting off for like the last 2 years, which is kind of a redesign of like my channel identity, my brand, I guess, for lack of a better term. So you'll notice in the upper left corner, right? Let's see if I can point to, of course not, it's mirrored up there. There we go. If you look up here, see how it says Worlds Told and see how it's all blue and stuff. But if you go to my channel, it doesn't look like that. It has the kind of the black, kind of more spiky, tall font, etc. And that is because the spiky font was kind of put together by the artist that did most of my overlay designs. And when she asked, hey, what do you want for your logo? I was like, you know what? I'd really thought about my overlays, but not really about my logo. And now the overlays don't really kind of follow the theme of the, the stream, all that kind of stuff. And then there's features I've wanted to add to the stream, but I keep going, I'm going to do it after I finally update the stream. And so there's just this backlog of things that I've been wanting to do. And I keep putting it off because it just keeps getting bigger, because of course it does. I'm taking my time to not do it, and then coming up with other ideas which add to what's going to get done, and it just gets out of hand. It becomes an out of scope project before the project even began. So I have some ideas. I have some thoughts. You'll probably watch me occasionally flipping over to check my phone and stuff, because I've found some nice TikTok references. I've found a couple of visual references, and I'm kind of using them as the starting point for my layout, my design. And I'm going to use those as kind of the kickoff of whatever the hell it is that I'm going to turn this into. But I've got a good feeling. And so what I'm going to be working on today is kind of the what do you want to call it? Here, I'll show you. It's this guy, the starting soon. So yeah, I'm going to be working on the starting soon page, and or not page, but overlay. trying to come up with some ideas, because that will also help me, I feel, kind of describe and design the brand, the feel, you know, because of the fact that it's going to be very free flow. And right now I'm feeling a little insecure about it. I probably won't be sharing my screen like I do often. I'll probably show off some of the stuff at the end, but I think I'm probably going to keep it kind of to myself today. So what we're going to do, how this works, is the beginning of the stream, I basically kind of host a chat. Now, right now, there's basically me and, maybe a couple of people in chat. So it's not a very, vocal dialogue right now. But usually what I would do is host a little chat with the people that are participating. We'd see kind of what everyone's wanting to do, what their individual projects are, kind of hype them up, get them ready to go, really excited. We'd spend about 15 minutes doing that. And then the next 90 minutes after that, so an hour and a half, we're just going to dedicate to working on our stuff. I'll be here. I'll mute, but chat is going to be up there. And we just kind of work on our things together, knowing that we're, all hanging out, all working on our projects, all trying to get stuff done. And, you can, if you have questions or comments or want a little, distraction, a little breather, mute okay, but will you use sign language? No. Hey, Mongoose, how you doing? I will not be using sign language. I will be using the text chat. Thank you. Yeah, so we'll be doing that for about an hour and a half, and then last 15 minutes, we'll just kind of get together and see where we got, see what we worked on, see what we got done. That's the whole goal. And it's been, like I said, it's been about 2 months. We missed about 4 of these in the process of moving. But all the stuff that was kind of getting in my way is now done. Basically, I had to get the computer actually working. I had to get my actual setup working. All that's finally in place. And now it's like you just got to get back into the groove. That's what you got to do. What am I working on? So I'm actually going to be working on some brand and overlay stuff. Some stuff I've been putting off for actually about 2 years. So it's nice to get it started, but it's always overwhelming at first. It's just kind of a slow process. So yeah, probably won't be sharing my screen. It'll primarily just be the cam for today, but I will probably show off a little bit of where I'm at in that last 15 when we kind of see where we ended up. We'll do a little bit of show and tell. We'll see where I'm at. But yeah, that's the plan. And it's good to be getting this rolling again, It's good to get the juices flowing, the creativity rolling. At least in my opinion. Always good. Oh man, I ate too much pizza today, so now I feel like I just want to take a nap. But you know what? We can do that in about an hour and a half, That's what we'll do. All right, so what I'm gonna do first is, let's see, where are you, silly timer pants? So we're not gonna use the what's it called? We're not gonna use the Google website timer because of the fact that I just haven't had a chance to set that up on this newer PC, but I do remember having a timer integrated, not the best integrated timer, but there it is. But I do remember having the integrated timer on my overlays. Another thing I'll have to restyle, but that's fine. Let's see, we're gonna do it this way. What kind of pizza? I got the cheesy burger pizza from Papa John's. And I knew better. I like it, but oh my God, it just makes me feel horrible after eating it. Just genuinely horrible. And yeah, I'm at that stage. There's certain foods when you eat them, at least when I eat them, where I'm just like, ugh, I know I'm gonna hate myself for eating it, but I only have it every so often because it only shows up, every little bit here and there. So not the end of the world, but oof. Same thing with Five Guys. I love Five Guys. I think it's a tasty burger. But I always feel like I just ate a brick of coal or something every time I order from them. So it's always like, am I willing to not feel happy afterwards for that tastiness? That's the question. That's the deep question. It does. Yeah, it sits like a freaking rock. Unfortunately, I got my tumbler full of water. Wasser, and an hour and a half worth of creativity. All right, guys, I'm muting. Let's get creative, you fools. Let's see. That should pop it. Where's my timer? Oh, is that where it went? Okay. Nice. All right, let's see. Pretty tasty. All right. 20, 40, by 1080, 1. That reminds me. Nope. This one? Yeah, there we go. Oh. Timer. Thing. Shit. Forgot what it was. Integrated timer. Yes. Oh,
Not sure if you know you're not muted if that's what you intended.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, no, I didn't. I muted the other part, not this. All right, folks. We have made it. We successfully spent 1.5 out 1.5, one of those numbers. We spent X amount of time working on this thing. Working on our projects. Assembling bookshelves. Doing layouts. Trying to get a heretic title. And now, the fruits of our labor. Fruity, tasty labor bits. How is the bookshelf building, Leah? How much progress did you make? Did you succeed? Did you complete? Or is there still more shelving to be booked? Oh, that's joyous. That's some joyous dew. I don't drink it often, so now it's like a little treat. Maybe 70%. That's something. That's not bad. Hour and a half. You got 70% through putting a bookshelf together. I'm pretty happy with that. That's a pretty good run. Now here's the question. Once it's built, is this a home for books that one day will be, or is this a home for books that are currently homeless in your place of living? Are you basically going to fill it up the moment it's done, or is this in preparation for eventually more books that you need to fill, that you will fill this with? Considering your vocation of choice, I'm curious if this is a backlog home for already existing wayward books. It's kind of like any time I put together a shelf. The shelf's not for the future. That would require foresight that I do not have. A shelf is a retroactive manner to fix a problem that I've had already. They're on the floor. Yep, there you go. Yeah, I knew it. That's awesome. No judgments. Like I said, I'm typically in the same boat. That's awesome though. How about you, Briku? How is your progress on your creative endeavor? How is that title? Or also, how is your adventures in React? How did you do? How did you do, sir? He's probably in the middle of attacking something, so he can't talk. Too busy murdering. Can't talk. Must murder. He's a murderous man. He's got to spend his hobby time killing things. I can't disagree with that. That's what I do too. So fairsies and whatnot. All right, well, I'm going to give him a moment since he's probably trying to find a place to not die so he can respond. In the meantime, I will show you what I've been working on. So, as I mentioned, the intention behind what I'm digging into is something that's been sitting for about 2 years. 2 whole years. Basically, it started during Pyro Playground for Star Citizen, and basically what the issue, well, not even an issue, what the intention was is I got my first set of overlays when I wanted to start streaming consistently, because I had just kind of slopped some stuff together so I could actually stream. Doing is step 1, then improving is step 2. I didn't want to wait until I was quote perfect before I started streaming, so I just started streaming and building out overlays as I went. When I got to a stable point where I knew I was going to want to do this consistently, I hired an artist to build some basic overlays, but I was still kind of a kiddie at this stuff, very new. And so I knew what I wanted as a minimum, but there were a lot of questions where I was like, I don't know. There are things I don't know yet. And I knew that going in. It was like, these are things I will probably need to know. It's that situation where you're old enough to know there's more out there than you're aware of. But you're like, look, I can either sit here and wait until I learn everything, or I can just go ahead aware that there's stuff I still need to learn. I went with B. I went with the second. And it got to the point where I was like, okay, cool. I'm stable. I've got the overlays. The overlays have been great for years. But I had started kind of finally building out a concept of the identity I wanted to have, the brand, if you will. And so that's when I created the newish logo, the kind of the block Worlds Told. And I did that roughly two Citizen Cons ago when the Pyro Playground was going on. But I kept telling myself I'll go back and like work on the layout and the design to kind of match up at some point. Well, here we are 2 years later. I haven't done shit on it. I've added more features to my stream. Like there's more overlay features and all that kind of stuff. And I did a little bit of reworking, like the bottom, you can see latest subscriber, latest bits, all that. The font and style is definitely different from what it used to be. But that being said, it's still not fully consistent. You know, if I go back to streaming soon, you can see that this, like the overall vibe definitely doesn't match up with that kind of block font sort of thing. And, you know, the cool ass, like, you know, wilderness distance doesn't really match up either. So I finally got off my ass and started working on that a little bit here and there. But then the move came and I kind of had to put everything on pause, and also gave me some more time to think. So this is basically kind of the first really deep dive into it. So what I spent most of this little chunk of time on was kind of vision board and some initial concepts. Like none of this is what I'll be turning into the final version. I'm playing with some concepts. So this kind of gives sort of the digital readout vibe I'm kind of going for. It definitely, number one, matches my capabilities as an artist, like a flat graphic design. That's something I'm pretty good at. I might add some nice, like, kind of digital effects later on, but right now it's just very basic. But I also wanted it to kind of have that interface sort of vibe, you know, where it felt like, you know, you're kind of logging in to like some sort of futuristic yada yada. And so I was kind of collecting things over the last few weeks. The alpha title screen for Marathon kind of had a vibe. I liked the simplicity of it, that sort of basic look with some activity. And you'll see, I kind of poached this sort of juxtaposition part pretty heavily here just to kind of see how it looked. This was when I was testing memory, but I really liked that interface that it displayed. It was kind of classic sort of 80s, 90s, you know, computer diagnostic screen. Loved that vibe. And then this, actually, I'm on some design TikToks, and this popped up as a way. And number one, I loved the color, because I've blue for some reason. I always love putting blue in. I'm going to probably try a few other colors just to test them out, but this was like my initial thought. But then also I was like, I like the layout. I like that simplistic placement, which also you'll notice kind of matches that sort of Marathon title screen vibe. And I really liked that a lot. So before I moved, I was kind of playing with something in the vein of the Marathon screen, just to kind of get a feel for what I wanted. And that's this guy. This is what I was working on first. This was just before I moved. And so I had kind of the logo. And what I was thinking is I could play like clips and stuff like parallel to it. They'd probably be muted, so we'd have music, because I don't want everyone to get all like, yeah, as they're watching the now loading. I kind of want it to still be chill, but I want to be able to kind of just show some highlights. So rather than what I currently do, where it's, you know, I showcase like, okay, if I go to streaming soon and I turn off the let's create, like this is usually the way it is, right? You're watching me, you know, with the game that we're going to play in the background, you know, that's basically kind of the standard way I generally lay this thing out. But the nice thing about doing it this way is I don't have to, you know, worry about what I'm displaying at that point. I can, you know, put whatever I want on the screen, and, you know, it'll just be kind of this nice consistent thing. But it still has that kind of layout, loadout sort of a vibe. And then the to-dos were things I was thinking about. So number one, find a way to integrate chat, but I want to integrate it, you know, make it look like a readout kind of a thing. login is something I'm kind of thinking about doing. A lot of other sites do it. It's kind of, you know, that first, you know, like exclamation mark first, whatever, where you can kind of, you know, I just logged in. This is kind of, hey, I'm here, you know, really low channel point count type thing. What I'm thinking about doing is making it so you can do that on this screen, and I'll actually start collecting the list of people that first, and it'll start, you know, basically a little bit of a fun little chill game when you first hopped on. It's like, oh, hey, I'm here, and you can first, and then it'll boop, you're on the scoreboard. You know, you're the first, and then the next first, and then blah, blah, blah. But then I was like, well, you can't be first third time, you know, down. So I was like, well, how about login? It's like you're logging into the interface kind of a thing. I thought that'd be kind of cool. And then socials, of course. So this is where I was at before the move. And now I've had some time, I've been mulling it over my head, and then combine it with, again, this vision board that I was kind of thinking about. And this is kind of what I played with today. This is from scratch today. There's definitely more I want to play with. And again, this is not final. This isn't what's going to be turned into the final thing. This is just me exploring. But this is kind of what I've been digging into now. So kind of using that the same ideas I had from the first thing, I would have basically a vertical that I can show what I'm, you know, like those, the clips. But the nice thing is they're vertical now instead of horizontal. So you'll be able to see the whole thing. And then over here, a fun little pop-up that, you know, makes it look like you're kind of booting. There's going to be like, what I want to do is add little inside Easter eggs for people that, you know, watch the stream. Like you can see the Temple of Snooze is owned by Indie, that kind of a thing. And once it boots, I think this will then turn into chat. So basically, as you start chatting, once the boot is done, it'll start showing chat on here, which I thought would be kind of a neat feature. And then down here, it has that kind of like, that sort of simple display sort of a vibe, which I really like. We'll have the social media list here and that same thing. It'll just be like simple outlined icons and then the media name and, you know, just stripped out here. And then what was the other thing? Oh yeah, this part's kind of also harkening back to this. So if you zoom in, I don't want it to be that small because since it'll be on people's, you know, monitors and stuff, you know, I don't want it to be people having to squint to read it. But basically this one, you could see like the build number and then like the current, you know, for Marathon, it's like this is season 0, version 0. And I was like, I like that idea, like being able to track stuff. And so there might be some other trackables that I'll put in. So you can actually, if you're watching a VOD, you can instantly from just looking at it, see what it is. But for now, it's just like date. And then you can see what version. So maybe if I'm tweaking overlays, you can tell by version 2.1, etc. And then this isn't going to probably have like multiples on it, but I'm just kind of trying to give the image that it's kind of like rotating by something like that. And then like this might become like a standard UI element. So like for chat, this is what it'll look like, but then another window might pop up and that'll be like where the firsts are, you know, the logins I was talking about. Like these are things I'm just kind of mulling over. And then this is just black and white to desaturate to make it easier to get a visual difference, but it doesn't mean like I'm going to ship it desaturated. Like this is basically kind of what it would look like here. But these colors, I didn't want to get biased by these colors because these are just colors because that's the game I was playing. Those will change all the time. So I was like, well, let's desaturate it so we don't really focus on how those colors look with these colors because those colors will change all the time. But yeah, that's what I've been kind of digging into. And the main thing is I also just really wanted to kind of get a theme, a vibe for what we're shooting for, you know, with all the future stuff and with all the branding. And I wanted to kind of just sort of explore, like, how does this combination look? Like right now I like it, but this is something I always do because I'm not like a great design artist or anything. It's very blue. So I might want to probably try to put a couple of accent colors in. Like it is technically, it's 4 different colors, but they're all effectively shades of blue. And I want to probably put in something a little more to kind of make things pop a little more, but not now. That's fine. And actually, as I said, what inspired me to pull this guy initially was the color combo. So right now, 2 of those 4 colors are those 2 colors, the ocean blue and the cloud sky. But yeah, that's where we're at the moment. At the Mo. It was very, very productive. That's the big thing for me. I can say I got a lot done. I hope you guys can too. I hope it was productive for you. It was for me. Oh, now I know why I thought I had muted. I'd muted my mic on here. Only that mic means shit now. That one doesn't actually do it. It's all over here. My bad. Well, thank you, Leah. Much appreciated. I'm glad you liked it. Thank you for the compliment. Well, that's about it. Like, I want to kind of get back into the groove of this, every other Tuesday, just 2 hours. So you don't feel like it's eating up your entire, evening. You can get other stuff done, because the key is you can, no matter what's going on, you should be able to come in here, get a little bit of time to move stuff forward. And I feel like we did. I did, at least. It sounds like 70% of a bookcase. That's nothing to slouch at either. So tomorrow we'll be back to your regularly scheduled stream. The question is, what will stream? Right now, I'm leaning towards some Dune. Maybe I'll do some cleanup on Destiny. I'm not sure. We'll see how I'm vibing tomorrow. There's a reason I don't have a schedule. It's been very vibey lately. But actually, maybe I'll even play Raft. I've been wanting to play Raft. I got Raft. I'm excited to play Raft. I know what it is, and I want to play it. But I also want to dedicate some time to it. It feels like a game that would be good to dig into on one of my Sunday streams. Soon. We'll figure it out. Anyways, that's it for now. I've had a good time. I got productive shit done. I hope you guys had a good time and got yo shit done. Moved stuff forward. I'll take that as a yes. But thanks for hanging out. I hope you had a good time. Hope you enjoyed yourself. As you can see, Indy had so much fun. He's conked out. Oh, yeah. Look at that little baby boy. He's just a little furry nugget. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. We'll talk very soon. 07s to everybody. Bye.